Good.
Okay, yep, it's recording now.
We're in there.
Okay. I'm Rebbekah Keaton, and I'm going to be interviewing you.
Hello, I'm Mattea. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm super. It's been a long day, so I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. I hope you're excited to be graduating soon.
I am. It's going to be a great accomplishment.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one. Yep. All right, so you ready to start the interview?
Yes, please.
All right. What makes you a great candidate for this position?
I think what makes me a great candidate is the fact that I'm a very hard worker. Especially at the jobs I've had in my past, I like to go the extra mile and work overtime to make sure that my work is done, as well as make sure that my team is getting their job done as well. If anybody needs help, I'm a very helpful person, and I'm pretty good with change, and I think that makes me a good worker and a good employee to have.
Great answer. If you had to choose between missing a deadline with finished work or meeting the deadline with unfinished work, which would you choose and why?
That's a really good question.
I've had to choose between those quite often.
No, honestly, I would rather not turn something in for the simple fact of if I turn something in that's halfway done, that's going to show that I'm okay with that work. And to me, it's not satisfactory to turn that in. I'd rather not turn it in and make it late than turn it in halfway done and show that I'm not doing the work. I mean, either way, I'm not doing the work, but that way it shows that I'm not doing anything complete and I'm just showing a rough sketch versus a completely done project.
I like that. I like that a lot. Give me an example of a conflict with a client or customer and how you resolved that conflict.
Um, well, I live in California, so there's always a conflict when it comes to a language barrier. I remember when I was working at the hospital one time, I had a customer come in very upset. They wanted to see a family member, but there was some medical stuff going on, and they weren't allowed to see him at the moment. And they were very upset because I couldn't really communicate with them, and they couldn't communicate with me just because of that language barrier, Spanish to English. So they got very very frustrated. But I was like, hey, like give me a minute. I really want to help you. And got them somebody that could actually help them out and kind of resolve the conflict a little bit and got them a little bit at ease.
Okay, that's good. I'm not sure how I would go about all that. So that's awesome. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully employed with a company that I see myself definitely growing with. I don't want to jump into something that is going to be short term. I definitely want to jump into something that I can see myself progressing in, a company that I can start from the bottom and work my way up, kind of a thing. Eventually, I do want to have some sort of like my own side stuff as far as screen printing business or just a little freelance stuff going on. But I really do want to have a company to work for or have my own company that can progress and really get its name out there.
I like that. What is one strength and one weakness about yourself?
Um, the strength is that I'm my own motivation, so I don't have to be motivated to do anything. You can tell me, hey, get this done, I'll get it done quickly, so that way after I have more time to do stuff or do whatever I would like. My flaw is definitely my laziness. I'm a very lazy person, but at the same time, I'm lazy when I can be. If I give me 15 tasks, I'm going to do those 15 tasks. And then after that, I'm like, all right, cool. But in a work environment, my laziness isn't really shown, which is a good thing. It's more so outside of the work environment concept. But it's something that I've been working on a lot. I've become a lot more organized and more, not motivated to do things, but more in tune with working and getting all that stuff done.
Those were really good answers. Like, really good answers. Those are awesome. I like those. All right. Those are my questions.
All right, cool. Do you have any feedback for me that I can use to better myself in any type of interview aspect?
I don't think so. I think that you had great answers, and I think that you answered them fast, and I felt like you had really good thought into those. I didn't feel like you had to kind of make up some random answer just to answer the question. I felt like those were true and real answers, and I liked that a lot.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right. Your turn. Okay. Miss Rebbekah Keating, welcome to your interview process. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. All right, so let's start off. What kind of design software are you familiar with?
I am familiar with most of the Adobe programs. There are a few that I'm not quite familiar with, but I am totally willing to work on those and get some experience in those, which I'm really willing to get experience in every section. But I am very familiar with Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe Dreamweaver the most.
Awesome. That's really good because a lot of people with Dreamweaver, it's not as fluent.
Yeah, it took me a long time to understand that program. I had to retake the class twice to completely understand it, but I understand it better now, so it was worth it.
We do a lot of branding at the company. So how do you feel about making your designs more so like logo creation and posters and all of that type of aspect?
That is one of the things that I am most passionate about, is especially vector design. So I think that would be a great way for me to put my designs out there and to get that experience that I do need and to use that experience that I do have.
Cool, awesome. Sounds good. Tell me about a time that you had a deadline. You were super crunching to make it, but how did you let that pressure? How did you get that pressure out? How did you deal with the pressure of that crunch time deadline?
Actually, I have anxiety really bad, but sometimes I work best under pressure. Because if I have 15 days to do something, I'm going to procrastinate until the last 5 days. But if I have a 5-day crunch time, I'm going to work my butt off, and I'm going to probably get a better design within that crunch time than the 15 days.
That's a good thing. It's always good to be able to work under pressure.
Yeah, sometimes I work better that way.
Do you feel that you can work well in a team? Why or why not?
I do and I don't, because sometimes I do have that I like to be in control thing. I like to be the leader, but I also know how to push that back, and I do know how to work with other people. So I'm great with working with teams, as long as I'm working with other people who are great with working as teams too. Otherwise, I'll just kind of fall back and, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm usually pretty good about managing with teams.
That's good. What about this job made you want to apply?
Everything, because like I said, I love, branding and logos and posters and designs with vector rather than always just web design or always just vector or always just screen printing or always just photography or anything. I like that the company had a little bit of everything that I like. I like that it's remote because I'm a military wife. We move every couple of years, and sometimes I don't want to just leave a job every couple of years. I want to be able to take that job with me if at all possible, or stay with that job for a long time, and it's not always that easy. So there's a lot of things that drew me to this job.
That is great. You had some really great answers.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I didn't really think of any.
That's okay. It's okay. You don't have to question me. You're the one in the interview. It's okay. All right. Well, that was a very good interview. I will be looking forward to calling you back.
Yay!